Yeah, I haven't done my what can I call them? I wouldn't want to call them uh podcasts since I don't really use Postcat and uh they make software that allows you to do podcasts. Uh yeah, I just want some reassurance and a bit more to try and see what kind of movement or where I'm trying to articulate something that's been obvious for 25 years. Now, no insult, but every governing body knows that the population will grow, right? So, the thing about not having two currencies, which is the Namibian dollar and the rand, is really a no-brainer. You understand? It's maturing, it's believing in the country, and it's believing in the potential of the country. As a matter of fact, I thought about it like, why don't we have a SADC currency, right? Which will drastically reduce a lot of it, it will facilitate the stock market more, and you would be able to say take a loan, um, and if you plan on growing your competition beyond your borders, what that does is it will give you that capability. Now, our history, we were first colonized by Germany. And when I say Germany, I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the German regime, which somehow got this perception that they were better than most people. In fact, if America hadn't intervened, um, then Europe would probably be Germany, right? So when I speak of one nation, one currency, this is something that has not been addressed for the past 25 years. You cannot go in any SADC country and pay with the money you have. They just they won't accept it. I guess it has a lot more with the fact that we were colonized, we fought, we gained independence, and when I say fight, the biggest fight was dialogue. You know, asking assistance from the UN it liberated us, and it gives us a bit more power uh, to the cause. Because what happened basically is a lot of people, there was no NDF ne, before, so a lot of people, due to their families being intimidated, due to a lot of things, joined the SWATF regime. But the thing about the SWATF regime is it wasn't really pro-violence. I remember this, okay, I heard from an elder that what they would do sometimes is deliver people with those army camps, the beef, and some of the butter and so forth, and they were giving it free to the people because they wanted the people to be trusting. But due to the two colonial powerhouses at the time, it was really difficult. You have SWAT fighting communism, and then you have other countries, can I say, uh, communist countries, which were facilitating our people with things like weapons and food on the road and so forth. So that is past. And I always say, past is past. It happened, but look at where we are now. Our MTC is better than any that I know of in the SADC region. And when the optic cable reached Namibian shores, it should actually be, for one, yes, they did drop the prices of paying for these things, but also they it brought a new era, right, of transformation. Now there are a lot of people that still fear the leading party because of some of the rogues. There were rogues. Like, for example, I can tell you my grandparents, and I can say it out loud now. My grandfather, my grandmother, they used to facilitate the plan members to make sure that they ate something and so forth, even though it was so vulnerable that some kufut, and I want to differentiate SWATF from Kufut because they were different. Um, Kufut was always the one on the attack and ask questions later. They had that in they had that bread within their training and so forth, right? Um, there were things like if you finish grade 10 in South Africa, then you automatically have to go for 1 year in the military, right? I think it's all known, everybody knows this, but not many homesteads pushed away SWAPO rebels, as they were called. No, if they were short on food fatigue, they were welcome, they were given food. And this is what happened at Marima, which is my deceased grandparents. Um, they they were quite hospitable. And then when the Kufut will come, the Kufut were very violent and yeah, tell us this. They use torture tactics and so forth. So Swatif and Kufut, um, they were different breed, right? So what I want to emphasize now is that now we have social justice. Now today we have social justice, but we don't have economic um, we don't have control on our economy. For example, when China is investing in our country, a lot of people, the Chinese. No, that's not right. They are doing more for Namibia, right, as opposed to most other countries that just speak in rhetoric, right? Most countries that don't even know that Southwest Africa is now currently Namibia. So what happened then? I was born in Pretoria, but the problem with that is, um, to say I was born in Pretoria, which is the day of independence, uh, there were scouts looking for some sort of intel, spies, you name it. So my parents just they put Rundu there. I have the pictures when we were in Pretoria. I have the pictures. I might just upload some of them. And the world has changed. Nowadays we have internet connectivity, all of that we didn't have before. Most of the letters and the briefing of societies was based on paper, right? It was based on paper. Now, SWAPO refused the, I think it was 1972 agreement because there were scholars, and our current president right now, Dr. Hage Geingob, he not only has the doctor thing, but his experience and how he's wise. He's wise because he's been through more. You understand? And his MO when he went to study abroad was basically study for things that will benefit Namibia. You understand? So he is a true hero in that department, because most people think of heroes as people who just shoot. You understand? Kill the opposing threat or whatever. But what they were doing was approaching dialogue with the UN to finally acknowledge to them that Namibia wasn't free. Namibia wasn't free. And when they South Africa now, this is back in the years when they were producing weapons of mass destruction ready, right? The founding father, Dr. Sam Nujoma, he used to go from facilities to facilities to try and instill that sense of safety, because for one, if you blow up a nuke, it's something that's going to hurt them too. So he did a lot of that in explaining to the people and having more people who had access to information. But these are just some of the speeches. The foot soldiers in Angola were still fighting, and imagine they were fighting against the strongest military force on this planet, right? And somehow we pulled through with negotiations with the UN. South Africa under pressure for having nukes. South Africa under pressure for segregating people by mere power. But Plan had a significant role in not only reassuring people, but make them know that this is what we know. Some of them, this is our country. And a lot of SWATF people were double agents. They were in Swakop, but it was to protect their families, right? And as well as harboring some people that should not be, like the Swapo people, who should not be given some sort of a place to eat and all that stuff. So our history when it comes to combat um, is not fully shown, because I have never in my life seen a Swatif. I'm not talking about Kufut. Swatif putting a rope on someone and then just drag them until they die. Alright, so that sense of this isn't right. We should, by all means, try to preserve the future, and the future is here now, and our new threat is obviously services. I'll go with services first. Why I'm saying services is a lot of people can sustain themselves. You understand? A lot of people can sustain themselves, but when you get ill, where do you go? It just gets worse and worse and worse. Alright, so this is when our brave nurses came into play. Like my mother is, she's a certified nurse before she became a teacher, and then HOD, and then by nature she developed a severe heart problem. As a matter of fact, when she was operated, the doctors there were even praying or congratulating that they actually they were triumphant in treating her. It was that bad. So as I was raised, I am very family conscious. Okay, now I'm talking mostly about my mom, sister, and my mom and my sisters. It's almost like a unit. Alright, we help each other where we can, and we're doing a lot of things. My older sister is in her 30s, still young. I'm 25. My little sister is 18. So that sense of camaraderie, that bond, the bond can't be broken. That's what I believe. I believe, you see a lot of people having girlfriend here, boyfriend here, no, moves on to the next one. No, I that's not the environment I grew up with. I think my parents were together for 33 years. and that's older than me. All of the bad stuff that happened to me in life were mainly due to external factors and not in my family. My family supports me, I support my family, and it's harmony. It is through harmony. Now, that harmony is what is lacking in most um, African houses, Namibian houses, where you have Jay Savambu, yeah, Jay Sedamara, what. It's all petty because what we have now, what we have is pure democracy. And Namibia is heading further and further away as we try to get okay, as we try to get engaged with more trade routes. The trade route that we don't have now is the trade route of Angola. Let's not forget that Angola is an oil giant in SADC, right? So the emphasis of attaching ourselves only to South Africa is not in any way right, and it shouldn't be, because you can come here with foreign money country and it won't go in the till. You have to exchange it first. And when it comes to Comrade, the ANC, which is the ruling party of Namibia, has done nothing to facilitate Namibia, because they are basically, I came to a conclusion that they are our neo colonialists, because when apartheid regime ended, the economy and ties to economy they kept. So this is bad. It's way better if we buy petrol from Angola, for instance. That is the place where we have to focus on. Petrol will be cheaper, but as long as we are a nation of two currencies, this is not possible, because all we get are the things that South Africa brings us. And obviously, you know, transport, VAT, and what. But America, I, but Angola actually have oil. And I think after 25 years, this has to be rectified. We cannot forever be neo-colonialist to South Africa, whom the country doesn't even acknowledge us. It doesn't acknowledge us. So it's better to start thinking economically now, not only for the present but also for the future. I've had some um, Angolan uh, associates, and they can't believe the prices of our petrol compared to the amount that is in their country. And we have the border there, the bridges being built, and hopefully we start to butter. And I say butter because Namibian isn't really rich on resources, so we have to butter. What Angola does is it imports fruits, vegetables, you name it. So if we can then say, okay, we'll give it this at this, there are so many ways that we can get Angola to work with us. And when I say work with us, I'm speaking about equal trade. So South Africa, I don't hate South Africa. I was born in South Africa, and South African citizens look just like Namibian citizens. As a matter of fact, some people, me included, I have a niece in South Africa. So that won't change. What will change